Elder statesman of great repute, iconic journalist and former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Osoba, has joined the League of Octogenarians in grand style and part of activities to celebrate the milestone 80th birthday anniversary was a public presentation of his memo titled Battle Lines: My Adventures in Journalism and Politics. The event was held on Monday, the 8th of July 2019 at the Convention Center of the Co Hotel and Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos. Chief Olusegun Osoba was born on the 15th of July 1939 to the family of Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan Babatunde Osoba at an Egba settlement in Osogbo. He attended Methodist Boys High School, Lagos, and proceeded to obtain a diploma in journalism at the University of Lagos, and later to the United Kingdom on the scholarship of the Commonwealth Press Union in 1967. In 1969, he studied journalism in Bloomington, USA at the Indiana University. In 1974, he became the first Nigerian to win the Neyman Fellowship Award for Journalism. Chief Olusegun Osoba started his career in journalism in 1964, working with the Daily Times as a trainee reporter covering crime stories. He became news editor in 1968, deputy editor of the Sunday Times in 1971, and deputy editor of the Times in 1972. In August 1975, he rose to become the editor of the Daily Times of Nigeria. On the international turf, he worked as a local correspondent for organizations like the British Broadcasting Corporation (BBC), the Times of London, Newsweek Magazine USA, United Press International News Agency. He was the chairman of the governing board of the Nigerian Institute of Journalism and member of the executive board of the International Press Institute, where he represented Black Africa from 1984 to 1992. He holds the national honor of the Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON. Chief Olusegun Osoba is married to Chief Aderinsola Osoba, and they are blessed with 4 children. High-profile dignitaries who graced the event to mark the 80th birthday anniversary of Chief Olusegun Osoba were the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, President of the Senate, Dr. Ahmed Lawan, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Idris Ahmed Wase, former military head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar retired, who was the chairman of the occasion, and wife, Justice Fati Lami Abubakar, His Royal Majesty the Oba of Lagos, Oba Rilwan Babatunde Akiolu, National Leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Elder Statesman and former Governor of Osun State, Chief Bisi Akonde, Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dakwa Abiodun and wife, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Mrs. Noimot Salako Yedele and her husband, Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and his deputy, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, Governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Umaru Ganduje, OFR, Governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, Governor Siriake Dixon of Bayelsa State, former SDF Ambassador Babangana Kingibe, Rear Admiral Ndubisi Kano retired. Also in attendance were the Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olakunle Taiwo Oluomo, former Governor of Ogun State, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, former Governor of Cross River State, Mr. Donald Duke, and wife, Mrs. Onari Duke, former Governor of Oyo State, Senator Abiola Ajumobi, former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Chief Femi Pedro, immediate past National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Chief John Odiego Yegun, former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Obong Victor Atta, former Senate Minority Leader, Senator Godswill Akpabio, Senator Florence Itagiwa, Senator Adeleke Oloronimbe Mamora, Senator Lamileko Yayi, Senator Tolu Odebiyi, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, Prince Gboyega Isiaka, Professor Pato Tome, Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, former Governor of Rivers State, the Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, former Minister of Information, Prince Tony Momo, billionaire industrialist Alhaji Razak Okoya, and brother, Dr. Tajuddin Okoya, Lady Medin Ibro, publisher of the Guardian newspaper, the chairman of Honeywell, Omar Tudeko, CFR, as well as many other important personalities. The event, which was compared by multilingual broadcaster, the chairman and CEO Biscon Communications, Prince Basil Attila, began with the national anthem led by veteran songstress Yinka Davids and the opening prayer by Pastor Tunde Bakare, senior pastor, Latter Rain Assembly. Thereafter, Mr. Larry Doe, CEO Diamond Publication Limited, publishers of the book, gave the opening remarks. He welcomed all who have come to celebrate with Chief Olusegun Osoba on his 80th birthday and the launch of his memoir, Battle Lines, My Adventures in Journalism and Politics. Mr. Larry Doe gave a brief history of the conception and conclusion of the book. He also highlighted some valuable lessons from the book, adding that the tremendous contributions and wealth of knowledge in the book will no doubt provide the new generation of journalists a clear pathway to succeeding in the field of journalism and inform other professionals and young leaders a true and undistorted account of our history as Nigerians.
What we are presenting today is a readable book on Nigerian journalism and Nigerian politics, engagingly written by one of Nigeria's all-time greatest reporters. So doing, Chief Osoba has thrown a challenge to his contemporaries, many of whom are in this hall today, to tell their own stories. And it is a challenge we urge them to take, for an author remains a treasured transmitter of our mores and traditions, an enricher of knowledge, and an enabler of our sense of community and history. Our media have feasted on the book by sharing some of its rich contents with the public. In the excitement, some have even imported some alternate facts into what is in the book. The Vice President, Your Excellencies, our colleagues from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, we welcome you to the public presentation of Battle Lines. Thank you.
The chairman of the occasion, former military head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, retired, in a speech said Chief Olusegun Osoba had a remarkable career in journalism. He took the audience on a trajectory of their relationship during their active days in service, adding that they both shared similar ideologies and values about life and Nigeria as a country. He took a moment to speak on the religious and ethnic crisis in the country, stressing that Nigerians must shun all forms of hate and live in unity and brotherliness. He congratulated Chief Olusegun Osoba for blessing the world with his book, saying that it is a rich, informative, educating and entertaining book.
I have read a portion of Chief Osoba's book. I know many in the audience today have also done so, at least the experts from the pages of our newspapers. There is a greater joy in reading the whole book. It is informative, it is rich, it is entertaining, and it is educative. I have known that you will enjoy it. Once again, I congratulate you, Olusegun Osoba and the family, on the book, and wish you a happy 80th birthday. And I thank you for the opportunity to address you. I wish you a good time here and a better time as concerned and committed citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I want all of us as Nigerians to put our hands on deck to make sure that there is peace and security in the country. I thank you.
The book reviewer, Mr. Dakpo Oloriyomi, publisher of Premium Times, did a summary of the book. He said journalists and media scholars will be extremely grateful to the author for providing information to fill many missing gaps and important aspects in journalism and politics in Nigeria.
Reporting, quite frankly, is the epicenter of the making and remaking of the elaborate Osoba metaphysic. and he owns up to that fact very proudly. The world of reporting opened him to an indescribable range of experiences, travels, contacts, course promotions, career elevation, open doors, and, well, the promise of a long life partner, the pretty daring. Professionally speaking, the Osoba generation in the newsroom were caught in the midriff of three critical historical impulses in Nigeria's journalism. He also helped to use this as a healing process after the coup through a managed and balanced coverage. Newsroom managers and educators, I predict, will recommend this book as a learning companion to reporters on the development and management of what journalists call sources. That key ingredient that gives flavor and accomplishment to the reporting process, and through which, if poorly managed, ruins the whole reporting and newsroom enterprise. The bottom line, because this is a matter of great worry in the book for Chief Osoba, is that the Yoruba condition, and therefore indeed the Nigerian condition, ultimately boils down to the question whether an illiberal political class can even usher in a liberal order, let alone a social democratic order. Congratulations, happy birthday, sir. Thank you very much.
Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, in his speech, urged Nigerians to stop promoting ethno-religious interest over national interest, saying the trend promotes extremism and crime in the country. He said the likes of Boko Haram, the so-called Islamic State West Africa province, and many Salafist jihadist ideologies are expansionist ideologies that feed purely on hate. The vice president added that the challenge for us as a people is to recognize extremism for what it is and form alliances across faith and ethnic groups to destroy the evil confronting us all. He also reiterated the federal government's effort to check the menace.
Our recent history is the same. The religious or ethnic card is pulled out regularly to win the argument or to win the votes. The problem is that the result to our fault lines is a cover-up for the failure of a vision and a genuine program to address the real concerns of the millions of our countrymen and women. It also inevitably breaks the ranks and prevents the pursuit of our real enemies, poverty and its causes and manifestations, poor education, healthcare, violent extremism, etc. They are motivated by a satanic desire to control communities by murder and terror. Whether it is in Iraq or in Borno or in Adamawa or Syria, their victims are men and women and children, Muslims or Christians, so long as they do not share their sick ideology. They target churches, they target mosques, markets and motor parks where people gather, using children as human bombs to kill randomly, regardless of tribe or faith. We must never underestimate the significance of interaction and a willingness to understand the other point of view. Chief Osoba, time and time again, not just in this book, but in his personal life, has shown the benefit of building bridges, the benefit of creating a united country in so many different ways. That lesson, he's taught so many of us that lesson, and that lesson has benefited him and benefited all his endeavors so far.
APC national leader and former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his remarks, congratulated Chief Olusegun Osoba at 80 and thanked him for documenting his experiences to educate the next generation of journalists and politicians in the country. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu also used the opportunity to speak very highly of General Abdulsalami Abubakar retired, describing him as an unbiased Democrat. The APC national leader later took a moment to address the ethnic and tribal differences among Nigerians, while urging everyone to use the diversity for the progress of the country.
Thank you, Arema, for so many revelations from the book. I've listened to our Vice President carefully, again, like a tutorial from him. But that takes us back to the Alliance for Democracy period. Our problem, instead of using our diversity for prosperity, we continue to use our diversity for divisions, either religion or tribe. It's a lesson that we have to take away from here today. Let's stop it. The bridge is strong. The broom is very strong when it is worn together. Thank you, Arema. Now that you are 80, I'd listened to Pastor Osoba that Abraham got assignment at the age of 90. So if you got the assignment, give me the medication. I will share with you. God bless Nigeria. God bless.
Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, who doubles as the chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum, said Chief Olusegun Osoba stands as one of Nigeria's most celebrated and accomplished journalists, who rose to the occasion to speak truth to power at various times in our history as a country. He congratulated him and prayed God grants him longer life in good health.
So on behalf of my brother governors in the Nigerian Governors Forum, we celebrate with our elder and father who's turned 80, but who is still not tired. I still see him in very active circumstances. I see him, and you would think 80 is now the new 50 from the way Aremo looks. I know Olumide will not protest too much to hear that, but we wish you very many happy returns. We wish you many more years in great health, and we pray that we'll continue to have you around to bring from your wise counsel, from your fountain of experience, and from your knowledge of the Nigerian polity and Nigerian politics. Congratulations, sir. God bless you.
Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat, also appreciated Chief Olusegun Osoba for his unending fatherly role to new and young politicians, describing him as a true elder statesman. He thanked him for penning down his experiences so far as a journalist and a politician, and urged more political figures in the country to follow in his footsteps so the coming generation can be properly and adequately equipped for the task ahead.
We must thank God for the life of Baba Osoba, because in reading part of the book, it was 2 or 3 attempts, assassination attempts on your life. So it just shows clearly that God is God. Whatever God wants, it's what will happen. So we thank God for your life. Also, we thank God for this book. For part of the challenges of the young generation is the entitlement sentiment that is building in our country. So it's good, one, that as a politician, you show clearly that you must have another address. Meaning that you must have a job to be a good politician. So you are a journalist of note, and your book actually clearly shows that. Also, part of your motivation in the prologue of your book was that eminent Nigerians that were intricate part of Nigerian history. You mentioned Papa Abraham Adesanya, your friend Chief Sunday Awoniyi, Pa Alfred Iwame, and many others that were unable to document their record and their history. And I think giving us the young generation this book, I think is commendable, and we thank God for your life. So thank you for all this information, and to also urge all our senior leaders that it's important to document your record. It's important to give us, the younger generation, this information. It guides us, and it allows us to build a better country. Thank you very much, Baba. Many happy returns. May the good Lord bless you.
Ambassador Babangana Kingibe, in his remarks, testified that all the stories and accounts in the book are true, as he personally witnessed most of them. He later admonished Nigerians to be tolerant and always embrace one another.
But I'm glad, because I can now publicly bear witness to the veracity of the claims in the book of Olusegun Osoba, which I have read, by the way. His claims on all issues where I was present, they were all correct. Whatever your religion, whatever your tribe, whatever your professional calling, whatever fault lines people want to abuse in order to divert us from our inexorable march to greatness, we must accept as necessary parts of our being. I hope that we'll be tolerant. I hope that we would be embracing all aspects of our lives, and that we can carry on forward in strength, in unity, and in progress.
Thereafter, the birthday boy, Chief Olusegun Osoba, who is a proud alumnus of the Methodist High School, Lagos, invited the old boys of the school, set 1956 to 1963, for a presentation of their school anthem, which they did alongside current students of the school who were on the bandstand as instrumentalists. Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, later showered encomiums on Chief Olusegun Osoba, saying that his journey as a Democrat has been very impactful. He thanked God for keeping him in good health and sound mind, as he wished him more of God's blessings.
For us in Lagos State, I dare say that you know that you are a father, you are one of us, and that you are always welcome. Although my friend, my brother, the governor of Ogun State, we always want to lay claim to you as indigene, but far more than that, you are transcended beyond one state. You are a national icon, and you are a national father to all. God will continue to strengthen and to hold you on. I want to, on behalf of the people and government of Lagos State, wish you the very, very best. Wish you good health. You and Auntie, wish you good tidings, and God will continue to hold you for us. And of course, your children, MHR is there, and all the other ones that we're all looking forward to. We will continue to look up to you, and God will continue to give you that intellect, that knowledge, to be able to continue to advise us, continue to stay on the side of truth, because that's what your profession has taught you. And we will, by the grace of God, be celebrating your 90, by the grace of Almighty God, where all of us here, if it pleases God, will also celebrate with you. Thank you so very much. Members of Breakfast School, thank you very much. Thank you so very much.
Chief Olusegun Osoba later appreciated dignitaries for honoring him with their presence. He especially appreciated his wife, Chief Mrs. Denisola Osoba, and children for being his pillar of support through the years. He thanks the governments of Lagos and Ogun States for their contributions to his life's journey, after which he thanked everyone for coming.
So, Mommy, your example is a good example to all of us. The honor today is to her and to all those who are involved in my travels about Tudeko, all of them. Stan, my auntie is dead now, the sister to Obadeyinka Oyeko. Obakulu, I want to thank him. He risked his job when I was put in a rat-infested area. He was the one who gave me the key to his office. I want to plead with you. All those who are shouting all kinds of useless stories, they should go and read my book. And I want them to reply robustly, because I have documents to reply. I have witnesses. There's no assertion I made in this book that I did not name witnesses. I contain a witness. When I gave him the documents of the day they wanted to sack the Hila, he was excited. The minutes of the UPM meeting. So I want to thank all of you, particularly Lagos.
Bola Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu, I want to thank you. Lagos, you made me streetwise, rascally-wise, education-wise, business-wise. I owe a lot to Lagos. But Ogun State, I'm proud to be an Yoruba man, and I'm proud to have Dr. Abiodun as my governor. So, this is my story. This is my soul. Praise my Savior. This is my
Governor Sirakia Dixon of Bayelsa State also appreciated Chief Olusegun Osoba, describing him as an exemplary political figure who builds bridges across ethno-religious divides.
So I'm here to bring our warmest greetings and felicitations and congratulations to our dear father and leader for a great life lived. And when I looked at the copy of his biography, which I will actually get several copies for distribution to the several schools that we have built, because young people need to know about this country. They need to know about the contributions and sacrifices that various leaders of all generations continue to make. Nation building is not just something you accomplish and forget about it. It's an ongoing job that one generation hands over to another generation. And the business of building a country starts with one good person, identify another good person. And we are lucky that we have a lot of good Nigerian leaders who, from time to time, try their best to make a difference. So I congratulate our leader. I will be getting some copies of this wonderful biography, which will continue to be a lesson to a lot of people. We shouldn't give up on our country. We shouldn't give up on one another. Thank you very much for finding time to honor him, and may God continue to bless our great country. Thank you very much.
The event also featured presentation of birthday cards to the celebrant, Chief Olusegun Osoba. The presentation was led by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lady made in Hebrew. Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dr. Abiodun, in his remarks, showered encomiums on Chief Olusegun Osoba and expressed great admiration for him. Prince Dr. Abiodun said, Chief Olusegun Osoba is his inspiration, his rock, and that he will continue to drink from his fountain of wisdom. He ended by thanking everyone for coming as the event was brought to an end.
On behalf of the governor and entire people of Ogun State, I thank everybody present and those who could not make it to this venue to be with us physically. May God bless you all. I want you to know that as a government and people of Ogun State, we are indeed grateful. Baba, happy birthday. Many happy returns. May the Lord answer all your prayers. May He give you long life, good health. May you live to see your great-grandchildren in Jesus' mighty name. I, and on behalf of the good people of Ogun State, will be launching this book by buying 80 times 80 copies. 80 times 80 copies. 80 times 80 copies. 80 for Baba's birthday, and an extra times 80 copies. This I'll give to all the schools in Ogun State. I'll give to the members of the State Assembly. I'll give to the members of the National Working Committee. And I will give to all my peers, governors and former governors. Ladies and gentlemen, I pray that the same God has brought you here safely will take you back home safely. Thank you very much.
From the entire management and staff of BISCON Communications, it's 80 hearty cheers to Chief Olusegun Osoba, CON.